Oh my god!
How much you do?
I think I just did 29K if I was looking at that right. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Anyways, let's get back to this shit. We're gonna warp to the Crucifixy. And we're gonna start with our weird little hand weapons. These things are really freaking cool. Over here on the right side, I got 3 weapons I want to display: the Emerald Talons and the Cursed Unguis. I don't know how to pronounce that. Are 2 of my favorite fist weapons, and they're really nice. Definitely leagues better than daggers. It feels like these things absolutely shred. They're great. And then my Sunbeam, which is the 2-handed curved sword. There's only 2 types of 2-handed curved swords in the game, and they are like the same scaling, the same damage, the same everything. They just run off of different stats. But I'm going to show you the Sunbeam, which is the one you unlock later in the game. Keep in mind, all my gear, you know, exalted and all that stuff. So you're going to see some really nice numbers, man. But general gameplay of this build with the fist is actually pretty spammy. There's not a whole lot you have to worry about. We have extremely high, and I'll show you, like almost 90% damage reduction, which is huge in this game. Damage reduction is key to surviving everything, and it really makes, oh man, it makes the game less punishing, because it's already pretty punishing. Now, this is Crucible, and this is scaled to level 30, right? This is... Yeah, we just fucking shredded that guy with a single kick for 1100. That's the big boy. They typically have the most health. I always break all these little objects because they drop little extra souls or whatever they're called. Wait a minute. Do I have my... Yeah, okay. I don't have a lot of stamina, but that's because we get a lot of stamina back. Nope, we got shoulder charge. Not a big deal. Again, this build is very spammy. I'm not even going to pick up items. I don't need to anymore. There we go. Kind of ran out of stamina a little bit. I was just kind of spamming a little bit too early. Yeah, pretty simple, and we don't really have anything on us. We can pop a blade oil, but we kind of just don't need anything else. It's already a very destructive and strong build with high damage reduction and life leech. We only get the life leech when we use our blade oil, though. That's the tricky part, and not on the first hit. Only every subsequent hit. I'm not gonna use any bonuses throughout the Crucible, because that'll look very ridiculous. I'm just gonna kick that dude. I'm just gonna kick him in the ass. Whoop. Oh, and a go for dip. Not on fire anymore. Good stuff. And those guys we just kick. The shield boys really suck. That's kind of the weakness of this build, is shields and any healing reduction. As this is built around life leech and a lot of rapid hits, and we can very easily accidentally stagger ourselves against a shield. So shields are dirty. We don't like it. Yeah, see how my life just shot up as soon as I made that guy bleed with my blade oil. It's gonna be really important for later. I'm gonna zip through this shit, man. And now, oh my god, I'm stuck. I'm stuck on an imaginary fucking rock, apparently. Oof. Oof. And notice how he hit us and we just kind of kept going. like I said, we got a good amount of poise, so we can ignore a lot of basic hits. Not everything. Let's go to this guy and repair real quick. Repair me, Mr. Repairman. He's really cool, dude. I love his design. Got like stuff and things. Yo, he's gonna love that. Frenzied Cleave? Oh, 3 swings? No. That's, nah. Let's get the modeled gems, if any. Yeah, we got a couple. I don't really need the rest, so we'll just leave. That's it. Yeah, as you've noticed, like, we've taken hits. And not only did we shrug them off, but they don't do a lot of damage. Whereas initially when you play this, and for a very long time, again, ignoring hits. I'm not gonna break any of these pots. Usually you can break all this stuff for extra souls, or what are they called? Echoes. But we don't really do that. I'll take this shortcut down. I always take the elevator because that vine ladder is just asking for it, dude. Nothing here. Good stuff. Sparta kick this dude. I love the kick in this, man. It's fun. Now, we're not going to do a ton of damage because we're neglecting all those echoes, but I just want to show you how good this build is, like doing Crucible at level 30 without echoes. It's level. All we have is blade oil and some food and a dream, man. That's it. And our little spinny slashy fisty fists. Oh. Those guys suck. They can really knock you back if you're not careful. Oh, okay, game. A lot of that. There's a lot of weird terrain issues in the Crucible. And accidentally climbing on a brazier. I don't know why you'd want to ever do that. Incidentally, climbing on a stairwell, the railing, will sometimes confuse the shit out of an enemy, and they will just stand there. And you can technically attack from there. Whoop! Didn't dodge fast enough. Go to those dudes. As you notice, like, once you start hitting something, you pretty much don't run out of stamina. Whoa, I didn't know he did that. It's the first time he's lived long enough to do that attack. I'll always start with a good hearty kick, man. That's some good stuff. Go in with a kick, dodge, and just shred. A boss is going to be really fun without any echoes. I don't think I've done this before. Without echoes. I think I've used echoes every single time. Because why not, right? Now, if you notice, he tried to do a shoulder bash. But we actually did so much damage and stagger so quickly that it interrupted his shoulder bash a couple times. And now we go to the boss. And for the boss, we're just going to use one, what's it? Like a vegetable cheesecake or whatever the fuck this is? Shepherd's pie? I don't know. And they're going to use one blade oil because blade oil is really important for survival. We probably won't shred him per se. Oh, okay. You should not have hit me, but that's fine. Look at that. No echoes, dude. No echoes. Got to back up for his... And we're just ignoring his first 3 hits. Yep, he staggered us, but that's okay. And we just keep attacking. And we just keep light leeching. And even when we do get hit, it doesn't hurt that bad. I don't know if you noticed, but there was a 345 damage from bleed. Because he likes to move around. And the damage of bleed is based off of movement. And when you have that blood meter high enough and they do a quick dodge or charge or whatever like that, tons of damage. I think the most I've seen is about 650. There you go. Get our reward. And then we'll respec and I'll show you the next one. God, I keep getting that fucking ring, dude. killing me. It's going to be interesting to use the Greatsword. The Greatsword is not nearly as careless as the fist weapon. So let's go to our next one here. Let's do a little respec. I'm only going to use the Emerald Talons, actually. And then we'll move over to the two-handed Sunbeam, which is probably my favorite weapon. Out of all the weapons, that one's pretty solid. It should leave me at 30. Was it Dex? Yeah. Is that right? 33, 33? Yeah. How are we on weight? I think, are these hands the same weight? Yeah, they're both 20 pounds. So as you can see, they've got the cool little fist weapons there. Okay, then we'll just run it again. We're gonna run it raw. Where are we going here? Hey, I fucking hate the levels that have water, the knee-deep water everywhere. Now these hit harder up front, and that you'll see enemies die a lot faster, a lot sooner. Witch better chill the fuck out. I fucking hate them, dude. I hate the witches in this, especially when they're just sitting on that corner like that. What's cool is instead of a kick, you actually have like a quick charge attack, like that. Come on. You gonna come down? It's a fucking no. Fucking good night. Good night, asshole. But these are really good in comparison. I think it's a very similar DPS. More upfront DPS, which is really nice, but it's a little bit slower to attack. And it's different attack patterns. Like I said, the charge attack or the running attack is like a quick, like, 5 or 6 hit jab. Very respectable damage. It's just, you know, I don't really personally like sitting there that long with an attack, but it works just fine. But the nice thing about these versus the hands obviously, oh, they're not even level 16. They only have 5 stagger on hit, whereas these have 10. And you can feel the difference when it comes to stagger. You'll actually stagger a boss in a fight with those. These are rad, dude. Oh, I'll go for a little swim. Yes, swimmy swim. Oh, I forgot my flippers. Oh, no. I'll just climb this, go up, blah, 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 blah. Oh, those guys suck. Those are both pushers. Like that. Those are both really shitty pushers. Not only will he endlessly spew out projectiles, the first one, this asshole, but he will also do a short burst, wide AoE that will push you off of a ledge in an instant. Whereas the other guy is full of pushes and slaps, the weird worm guys. Those guys are really deadly. They have all kinds of things to really just mess you up. Now notice how we took all of that and it almost filled our stagger meter. Oh, I don't know if you've ever like snuck up on anybody with these, but if you do it successfully, which I cannot seem to fucking do. Yeah. You see that? Now, the nice thing about these two is that they actually eat through shields like nobody's business because all the damage is up front and it's less rapid hits. 220 bleed damage, that was great. Yeah, all that damage is up front, and the stagger is like crazy on these. So when it comes to interrupting enemies and just ignoring their shit, these are so good, dude. Again, pretty much equally as efficient as the other hands. Not as efficient on stamina due to this ring this Jade Ring right here, you get, you know, a percentage of your stamina back on damage dealt. Not based off the damage, just, you know, based on when you deal damage. And the hands get them because they're attacking twice every time and very rapidly. So you never run out of stamina with those. You could attack all day. With these fists, you don't get as much stamina up front. It's really on the last hit of the fists. 2, 3, 4. That right there, that crazy multi-hit at the end gets all your stamina back. But before that, it eats all your stamina really quick. So just important, you know, things to distinguish between these two fist weapons. They're both really good. They're both, like, S tier in my opinion. Between their stagger damage, their DPS, their you know, swing style and speed and stuff, stagger, etc. Very good. Oh, I don't know why I'm hitting this. Sorry, Pabbit. Notice he jabbed us. He 100% jabbed us, and we just ignored it. These fists have a lot of stagger. Woo, goodbye. Very, very good weapons. Very, very good. And I don't know if these are advanced or not. These might be a type of fist weapon you get early on. I don't remember. Yeah, also that rapid attack at the end hits multitude of times at full strength. It doesn't divide the damage between hits like that does, so. I love fist weapons in this game, man. They feel good. I haven't really messed with fist skills very much, but we'll get there one of these days. Oh, well, he got me before I could do anything. But he'll pay for it. Excuse the fuck out of you with your shitty ass frost maze. Get the fuck out of here. Fucking good night. These are very beefy boys. He teleported right behind me. It's not the best place. God, who's messaging me in Discord? They're probably, hey, you're a VTuber, I see. You want to buy my art? You want to buy my fucking copy paste art? No, I fucking don't. There we go. Okay, cool. I'm tempted to jump over the gap to get back, but I'm also scared of it, so I won't do that. Good night. Dodge that. With the boot. Good night. Next. So good! Now, there's a lot of insane things we can do. I've had these individual fist attacks hit for upwards of 5,000 per hit. You can only imagine the destruction that causes on a boss, right? But we're not doing that. So, oh god, he's still alive. I thought he was dead. The fuck? You sneaky bastard. You see that? You see how we just fucking... Now these guys, they're not taking a whole... They take a ton of damage to stagger. We'll really only see that stagger on a boss. But on basic enemies, we do so much damage that they'll never reach stagger anyway. Stagger is a very, oh, we're at the boss, speaking of. Stagger is a very independent skill. Or, sorry, stat, I should say. There's not a lot that affects it or degrades it. Oh, fuck me, dude. I keep thinking I dodge that, and I don't. Look at that stagger. Sadly, we did not stagger him before we killed him. I want to say I think the fist weapons were faster. We're stacked now. Just dodge out real quick. Get up. And again, you can just be very spammy with these. You're gonna get that life leech and you're fine. Honestly, I think the killing is faster with the hands. I think I like the hands better, but I don't know, it's roughly about the same. And for double the stagger, like, it's just a matter of preference between these two hand weapons, fist weapons. But they're very good. They're both very good in their own respects. Oh my god, another one? Get out. God, finally, dude. I've been waiting so long. Cool. Now my friend has a Falling Sky and a Tormented Wand, and I also have one. That means I could do a mage build. Also, I've done so many Crucible runs, I've never seen any of those, so. But now it is time for our favorite, the Two-Handed Greatsword. Now this is a very different style. This is very, probably altruistic version of what we've been doing. We've been very careless and spammy, and with the Greatsword, you really, positioning is super important. Letting enemies kind of walk into your charge attacks is also incredibly important. And we're gonna try all that, and we're gonna try it without any buffs, and see how we do. I'm not great at dodging, but you know, I'll do what I can. And typically we want to be at 30 equip load because this shit's fucking heavy, dude. We're gonna switch our gear real quick right here. I'll go over this gear later. I'm not gonna go over it right now. There's no point. I think this is the right gear, right? Blah, blah, blah. Poise. Charge attack. Poise. Okay, yeah. Oh. I almost forgot my ring. The main difference in this is that stamina ring doesn't really help this build fucking at all. So you may as well just go with the Willow Cap ring because it really bumps up that, what do you call it? Stuff. Attack speed, your charge speed, your movement speed, and also casting speed, but we're not going to really do that ever. Now, this is also a bleed build. These are both, all of these are bleed builds. I'm addicted to bleed builds, and I'll show you why. Because of that right there. That lifesteal against bleed enemies is insane. Outside of this, the most you can get is 10% on a, sorry, 12% on a weapon, which is okay. It's fairly sufficient, but at the same time, you're missing out on this enchantment power gem, and we'll go over those later too. I'll show you exactly why this build is so strong by itself, even with everything, you know, scaled to level at level 30. It is destructive, man. Let's see how many times I get my ass whooped, though. Because this requires actual thought and placement, whereas the fists are just do what you want. Just spam. You can dodge if you want. Oh my god. I hate these bitches. Best to just do a charge attack. Oh, goddamn. And get that over with. I'm gonna play this. 4,700, dude. Isn't that fucking insane? Those guys, they jump attack, you jump attack. Problem solved. That was a regular swing. That was nothing special. Now, we're gonna have to heal on occasion because this Greatsword hits so fucking hard that unless you're fighting a boss, you probably won't get any life leech, which is the downside of this build. The other downside is, again, slower weapon, which, you know, for a charge attack, that's good. That's fast. And it will stagger, I think, on like 1 or 2 hits if they don't die. Greatswords really deliver a lot of status and stagger up front. It's a good time. It's great, dude. Highly recommend. Let's see if we can make it up here without being bothered. Nope. I saw you coming for me, dude. He is also stuck in an imaginary rock, I guess. The downside is we also have to wait for stamina, which is a bummer. Caught him mid fucking... You really want to do that, dude? And again, we have enough defense, a shitload, that, yeah, look at that, 94, 92, up in the 90s again. And that's probably partially damaged equipment, too. I think it can go, like, 1% higher. But, yeah, we can afford taking a hit. We also have poise during charge attacks, which is really important because we get to ignore a lot of stuff because of that. this. Oh, fuck. Got me. That's okay. And as you can see, we've taken, like, quite a few hits. And we're just fine. Woo. Look at the range in that sword, man. It's crazy good. We just ignored his hit entirely. Usually that hit will knock us back. And we just basically said, no thank you. Here's mine. You showed me yours. It's pathetic. I'll show you mine. And I think we'll be able to... I don't know, maybe 3-tap the boss. If we get lucky, I think. I forget how much HP he has. It's at least 12k, though, I think. Yeah, look how fast we run in general. Like, we got a lot of speed built into this. Speed and damage. Whoop. And see if we can get that charge attack off so quickly. Saves us a lot of hassle. We can also just run in and jump, just be like, ah! And surprise people. Ah! Ooh! Oh, that was dirty, dude. Oh, this AI. Oh, he almost ended that run. Go to sleep. God, that was a good hit. Not even mad about that. That was a great opportunity for him. Woo! Fuck this AI. Oh, invisible rock, as usual. For some reason, coming off this platform, I get stuck a lot. I don't know what the deal is. There's some weird hitbox terrain issues there. It drives me crazy, so just be careful. Now we're off the merchant. We're already halfway done. We'll just do a quick repair. Oh, shit. I don't understand how durability works in this game. I don't know if it's based off of just being hit, based off of death. That was weird, dude. Try to sneak up on this guy, kind of, sort of. Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. Woo! Next room. Oh, he's gonna get me. He's gonna get me. He's gonna bite my butt. Nope. Weirdly, those worms don't count. You'd think they would, but I think they might have had problems in the past where worms will, like, get stuck in a weird area. And see, now, I did take stagger. You can see my stagger bar filling up there. But the nice thing about this weapon is it just shreds through those shields. Doesn't matter, dude. Shieldy boys, I'll do one of two things. I'll either, charge up like that and just boop. Or I will just do a quick jump attack. This thing hits for so much damage. Personally, I'd recommend doing charge-ups like this. Much more effective, especially when you really gauge that range of things. And once you get used to it and really maximizing the reach of that sword, you will hit them before they hit you. And sometimes they'll, strangely, like, at the end of your attack animation with your sword still in the ground, thinking you've already damaged them, or the damage window is passed, they'll walk into your blade and somehow still take damage. So that's pretty weird. I imagine they'll fix that. Oh, that shouldn't even have hit. That's crazy. That range doesn't make any sense. Bonkers, dude. Oh, I'm in a bad spot. I'm in a bad spot. Okay. Those little chompers will stagger the crap out of you. Oh, there you go. GG. Dodging is very important. It's worth dodging in this build, even if you take reduced damage. You don't want to be careless, man. They can get you in so many ways. Oh, come on. Really? He triggered it in advance for me. Did I just ignore that? I don't know if I ignored that or moved out of the way, or if there was an iframe during that swing. But it triggered the trap, and it should have hit me. Weird. All right, anyways, on to the boss. And you're going to watch me take damage and heal fully, because I do so much damage that any percentage is insane to heal from. So let's get started on that. Boop. We're going to goad him. He usually does this charge if you let him. 3 hits. That's good. Get my second, or stamina, or stack in a second. And he's dead. That's it. GG. It's a great build, dude. I also have a Frost version of this that's a little bit safer, a Frost and Shatter version. And it's a lot cheaper. Doesn't require any perfect rolls. You just do whatever you want to do. I've got 1,000 of those.
Well, that's it for that, buddy.
Now, when it comes to... Oh, I don't know. Let's talk about equipment. Yeah? Yeah. Let's talk about why this is so fucking good. First, let's go over the equipment, and let's tell you what you're gonna want. And we'll start with everything. First thing you want to start with, let's start with the rings, for example. Agility ring is your best friend no matter what melee build you're using. Doesn't matter. Fierce ring is also your best friend no matter what melee build you're using. Because you will take damage. It's impossible to... Well, it's not impossible, but it's incredibly unlikely that you won't take damage. But if for some reason you do, then, you know, congrats to you, man. You could use any build if you could dodge everything. But usually there's an AoE or a fire tick or just something tiny, man. It's really hard to avoid. But that's a good thing in our case, especially as a charge attack user. Because with our charge attack, we'll always get hit mid-charge attack, and that's fine, because then look at that damage that gets increased in the middle of that charge. 20% damage, that's nothing to scoff at. And it can just stay active. Like, it's... With two-handed swords, it's great, dude. We're going to want that on the fist or the charge hand, or the charge attack build. It doesn't really matter. The Willow Cap ring, I think, is better overall for the two-handed greatsword. Because it gets us attack speed, charge attack speed, and movement speed. So we get all of those things. And the Jade Ring we want for the fist weapons because they're very rapid hitting at some point. Let's get rid of this little stupid little bow. The Jade Ring is good for the fist weapons because you can just infinitely attack with zero worries about stamina. So, what makes this build so crazy? Alright, first things first, gear level. It is level 16. The more you keep your gear level up to date, the stronger that base weapon damage will be. To top it off, if you look on the bottom there, you'll see that this scales with strength and faith. Typically, weapons that have 2 attributes that scale scale a little bit better overall on the weapon. And I think the two-handed curved greatswords are new, or maybe they just got revamped. I don't know. But they are pretty much equivalent to the two-handed greatswords in general. Except for the fact that they're basically just faster. That's kind of the only difference. And, like, why wouldn't you choose that? So. But, yeah. So, the rolls on these weapons are good. I will admit that. This is a sharp weapon. As you can see, it says sharp item facet. Don't worry about fatality. That comes and goes if you have a fatality perk. That's not something that you can roll, really. At least not in the way of crafting. So what I did is I essentially crafted a bunch of these, waited until I got one with a sharp item facet, and then we, you know, made it plagued, rerolled a lot of the stats until I got damage based off of durability, extra durability, crit damage, and then unfortunately all that was left was like focus on fatality, which is actually pretty convenient for the greatsword because you're constantly doing fatalities. A fatality is either a rune attack, kill, or a charged attack kill, which with this greatsword, you do a lot of charge attacks. And you will pretty much one-shot everything, so you can imagine your focus bar fills incredibly fast. 2 enemies and you're basically full. But 31 is pretty nutty. Let's see. That's one thing for the weapon. The other weapons are pretty similar. They all have the same exact stats, other than the fist weapons, which have focus on kill because we don't do fatalities, unlike the greatsword where it's constant fatalities. So that's fine. And we'll get to why we want that focus gain anyways very soon. Very, very soon. But let's look at the rest of the gear. And for the head wrap, there's a specific formula I go by that really maximizes armor and damage resist, and I'll show you why. For our head and hands, you can do cloth or leather or mesh. It's up to you. I don't really care. The heavier it is, obviously, the more points you're going to have to put into equipment load, which is fine. It's not a big deal. You do so much fucking damage, it's kind of irrelevant. You may as well walk around in the heaviest armor possible. For the legs, I specifically do mesh or plate, and for the chest, is absolutely has to be plate. And I'll tell you why. So, and I'll also tell you why we need full focus. Both of these builds rely on keeping your focus bar full. You never use focus unless you really need to like see in the dark or something. Otherwise, just don't use it. We could have potentially buffed our character at the start of the boss fight with the damage surge rune, right? It's a utility rune that everybody has and a lot of people use, and it's 20% damage. That's nothing to scoff at. That's a lot. But it removes basically all of our focus, and we'd have to build all that up. And by the time it got full, you know, the fight would be over or half over. And it probably isn't really worth it because, woo, it gets rough, dude. But anyways, yeah, those are the classifications of armors that I usually go with. Leather, helmet and gloves, mesh pants, plate body armor. And at the most, equipment load that you'll need is like 30, which is fine because you have a shitload of stats left over for everything else. Perfectly fine. Don't invest in feathers or any of that dumb shit. It's just not really worth it overall. Not unless you're doing all plate and you're trying to be a tank or something. As long as you're in the normal for dodging or light, you're fine. You can dodge plenty of times in a row at a decent stamina rate. Also, the reason why I use mesh and leather here is less stamina regen issues too. Alright, so for the plate, I'm gonna go over this. It's mostly most of this is armor penetration, crit hit chance, physical damage, right, on all these. Except this says poise defense while charging, and this has charged attack damage. And the most important thing, again, is that lifesteal right there. You want to make sure you keep that life leech. That is super fucking important for this bleed build. Physical damage, bleed build. We do physical damage all the time. As you can see, the Sunbeam and both of these weapons, it's all physical, man. And we applied that blade oil as needed. For the most part, blade oil is only good on bosses with the curved Greatsword, because nothing really survives those charge attacks in the first hit. Fist weapons, we apply them constantly because we can easily life leech all the time. That's one of the downsides of the fist weapons is you're very dependent on that blade oil. Whereas with the two-handed Greatsword, really only on bosses. Only on very, very high HP targets. If they're over, like, 4,000 HP, that's the only time to use it, which is basically nothing in the fucking game, other than bosses. Bear in mind, I also use this stuff against a, what is it, a fully maxed out, fully debilitating Pestilence boss, and shredded him with all three weapons. Basically the same as I did in Crucible. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy fucking good. And everything you've seen so far is no echoes. Okay, anyways, on to the most important part. We have our armor types. We have our three favored weapons, whatever. And I have another set of weapons that's more for fist weapons. We basically just swap out the charge attack damage or poise for, like, durability or, you know, damage resist or whatever. It doesn't really matter. The most important piece out of all of this, besides the damage increases, if you look right there where it says damage resistance increased by 15%, it's exalted, by the way. Normally it's 10%, but if you exalt it twice, it goes up to 15, ups by 50%. Exalting basically can potentially double one stat, but the chances of rolling 4 on one stat is like crazy. Anyways, damage resistance increased by 15% of current durability. Notice my durability is 300. 300. That's 45% damage resistance, which is physical and all the elementals. It's a shitload, dude. But it's actually more. And I'll tell you why. You see the gem that we have infused. It says enchantment power increased by 75% at full focus, which means that 45%, and the durability goes up on top of, because it's a roll, it's an enchantment. The durability that's at 75 now jumps to, I don't know, like 115 or something, which means now we're at a base of, well, it's not that much more. It's like 5% more, but still. Now we're at like 50% damage resist, but also damage resist, the other perk, also climbs by 75%. So we're at, say, 50% now. And it goes up by, what, like 3/4 of that. So, is that 35? 40? No, because that's 4/5. So like another 35%. That's 85% overall damage resist boost on a heavy plate item. This item alone will keep you in the 70 percentiles. Actually, you know what? Let's see. Let's take all the armor off. Note that we're at like upwards of 94%. Yeah, look at that. Just the chest piece alone. Look at that. We're at 90%. Those other pieces of armor effectively do fucking nothing. This thing is so powerful. And when you have that much damage resistance, the game is way less punishing all of a sudden. Way, way less punishing. I don't know which headpiece I was using. I'm going to stick with the high armor pen. Definitely those. Where's my... Which one has poise defense? This one. Okay, there we go. And as you can see, it didn't change very much. That's how insane this chest piece is, dude. So when you get a chest piece, you want to craft a bunch of them. Make it sure it's plate. Any plate will do. It doesn't matter. They're all the same, besides the aesthetic. And get durable. Durable is the item facet you want. And this is even after hotfix number 6, where they nerfed durability in correspondence to this specific roll of damage resist increased by X% of the current durability. It's crazy, dude. It's so good. But that makes up basically all of your defenses. This is where all of it comes from. That's how good it is. You can technically go harder if you want. I don't know the point in that, but enjoy. But all your defense is right there. And again, as a melee unit, we want to be at constantly full focus and never use focus. We can use stamina runes, but not focus runes. Because you want to keep that focus 100% full, because we have gems here, 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 in all of our weapons. We're all modeled jewels. Chipped or modeled jewels. It's all about these blue jewels, dude. These enhance all of the enchantments on your item. It is not global, it is local to that item, but when you combine it with all of these, that's how we become such a fucking monster. Because without those gems, we'd just be very average. Let's empty it out real quick. It doesn't matter how low it is. If it's low, right? 1,000. Seeing non-crit numbers. What's that like? Hate it here. What is that? Again. That's crazy, isn't it? And as you can see, we're not inflicting statuses too terribly fast. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to put blade oil on. That's why. It takes a very long time to build up in the Greatsword. That's the other downside about that build. All builds have their ups and downs. Nothing is perfect because it's designed to not be. But yeah. And notice our damage is just boop, boop, went from like 1,000 non-crit to 4,500. And basically constantly critting. But these gems just skyrocket everything. Now, in the future, this might get nerfed. I don't know. Other, like, essentially rolls in this game have a very hard time utilizing these gems. And I'll show you why. I love this Greatsword, man. I think the Greatsword is still my favorite out of everything. I love the fist weapons. They're fun, but the Greatsword just, oh, it's so satisfying. And they're both basically the same build. It's a really, really solid build. You'll just smack everything to death. It's great. Now, when it comes to leveling, you might want to stick to, like, put a frost gem on it or get, like, an ice infusion on your sword. Oh, where am I going? What was I going to show you? Gems. Gems. Here's all of our modeled gems. What are we looking for here? Yeah, this is the best lifesteal you can get. Only goes on one weapon, and it's 12%. It's nothing to scoff at. It's good. You could also put it on a shield. So if you want to be like a supreme tank, that's a way to do it, I guess. But we were looking at the other gems. The other options of enchantment power increased, right? This is straight up 100%, which is crazy. But you have to do a low health build. Not an option for melee. That's a bad choice, dude. You could risk it, but you're going to die way more than you will ever want to. Another one is enchantment power increased if you have a barrier. The problem with barriers in melee, it just goes away so fast. So this is a decent option, but even the model gem is still 65%. So as melee, we're going to stick with that 75 because keeping full focus is easier than anything else. And then there's also the marble, which is, you know, 50% at the most enchantment power, but at full health, which is technically doable with a life leech build. But again, we don't really use focus for anything, and we slap so hard that focus just doesn't really compare when you can just repeat charge attack for like almost 5k, right? Like, it's a lot, dude. And there's our model jewel. Model jewel is the way to go. I used to have health regen. Health regen is really good early on in the game. I think it helps a ton, especially with learning. It's a little more forgiving. You do that and like an ice infusion on a weapon, and then you put a whatchamacallit, bloodstone in it for life leech. That's a great way to learn the game and survive. It helps make everything a little bit less punishing, which is nice. Oh, I don't know if I changed my AC or not. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the items. We want these 3 rings in general. If we're going to use fisties, we slap on the jade ring instead of the willow cap. But that's kind of the secret to this. That's why it's so insane. And it's so easy to keep full focus. Especially when you're doing that much damage on repeat. You don't have to build up to do anything. You just swing, dude. And it's tremendous. It might not hit as hard as some other builds, but it is far more consistent. Because you just repeat. And you can do like 4 or 5 charge attacks in a row. If you have more stamina than me, you could do even more than that. I don't know why that'd be necessary. And you still have room for dodge. I mean, all you need is 1 or 2 charge attacks, and you've got plenty of stamina for dodging. So that's it, man. That's all the equipment. As far as health items, later in the game, like I stayed on mushroom soup throughout the entire game. Eventually tomato bisque, and then vegetable cakes, which, I mean, you get 10% damage for like 3 minutes. That's a really long time. These are really good. Vials of defense for melee. Keep those on you. And the most important thing is blade oil. You can make these with, I think, like wolf kidneys and something else. But that's pretty much all that's on my hotbar. That's all I really keep on me. And look at the chunk we take out. Half stagger, by the way. 2 charge attacks. Charge attacks are so good in this game. It's just hard to find the right weapon for it, and I think these curved greatswords are the way to go. They're, I think, the highest scaling for base damage, as well as high scaling for their attributes, and they're literally faster, and I think they might have a little bit more reach than a regular greatsword. All right, bye-bye now. Good luck out there.